For our final of our 5x5 presentations, I am excited to welcome Larissa Lai because she is an associate with the Center for Urban Design and Mental Health. And she is originally from Hong Kong, but she's currently based in New York, but she came here for you, people. Hope you feel honored. Maybe to visit her family, I don't know. But she is a social worker and psychotherapist and is undertaking a master's degree in city and regional planning at Pratt Institute. One of her special subject areas is innovative housing solutions for mental health. So given we've had all this discussion about how can we make housing better and more social in Hong Kong, it seems like a great opportunity to hear some of the lessons that she has learned. Thank you, Larissa.
Okay, hi everyone. So we've just looked at a lot of maps and statistics, and now we're ready to look at some innovative solutions to, look forward to the future. Okay, so the first of all here, we have the team from Vancouver named Happy City. It's the name of a book that the founder has written. And they have created this toolkit named Happy Homes that is basically a list of guidelines with a lot of images that promote, encouraging sociability within multifamily housing, which, as you can see in that graphic rendering there, it's like a combination of high-rise and lower-rise townhouses as a multifamily housing complex. And the 10 points that they've emphasized is doing things together, exposure to near social group size, nature, walkability, participation, feeling safe, comfort, culture, and values, which I don't have time to go through each and every one of them right now, but I think a lot of speakers today have covered most of the points. So let's move on to more different things. So since I'm based in New York, we're going to have a lot of examples from New York. This is NYCHA, stands for the New York City Public Housing Authority, and this brown blocks are like one of the complexes we have there. So if you know anything about the US public housing estates are highly stigmatized and people do not want to go there at all. And so they have come up with a list of plans to make it much more incorporated into the rest of the community, because a lot of them have been segregated towards the highway. As you can see here, that's FDR Drive by the river. And so that is an existing plan. There's a lot of unused green space, which people don't actually appreciate but litter on. So they have new plans to develop that space with retail spaces, social services, and other things, so that people would use the ground level much more and to hang out there and make it a happier space instead of these, gloomy chocolate blocks. So next we have some exciting developments with green, sustainable themes. So this is Via Verde in the Bronx, New York City as well. It's built about 5 years ago. It's a development that was created with nonprofits and the government and private developers all together. So it's one of the exemplars of the world of good affordable housing, and it's developed according to the Active Design Guidelines, which is developed by Center of Active Design in New York City. They publish a lot of guidelines and research related to designing healthy spaces for living. And so we could see that up here, it's like a graphic rendering of, it's like a multi-level step roof that they grow different sorts of plants, trees, and they have an urban rooftop farm. And once again, all these are exciting for encouraging sociability. You could see these people there enjoying farming and greenery together. And once again, cost-wise, it's effective for conserving energy, having green roofs, and it's beautiful. Okay, so more greenery. We have IKEA has, over the past year or so, kind of promoted hydroponics, which is growing food and other plants indoors. So it makes your home look great. It has something to do with your family and socialize together, as well as you could grow your own nutritious vegetables and food without pesticides. On the other hand, that's a concept architectural building by Bernheim Architecture for New York. So this is a project that promotes communal living and vertical farming. So they incorporate all these hydroponics together in the indoor space, along with, having these communal eating spaces, cooking spaces, so people can cook and farm together and develop a great community. And of course, it's pretty too. So another one we have here is the Endwork residential tower. I think it's designed in 2014. It's a very remarkable design, really, because if you look carefully at the pictures, they have kind of restructured this vertical block into these mini little cubes and layouts that's much different from vertical buildings that we see every day here in Hong Kong. And so they have balconies that actually open up to this glass enclosed space, and out there you could see this person sitting out there. You could hang out with each other, and your balconies kind of face into the community. So it really promotes sort of cohesion, and you really get to know your neighbors, because if you live in a large vertical space with way too many units, chances are you won't talk to your neighbors at all. So these are one of the most outstanding innovations we see around the world. Hopefully we might see some of this in Hong Kong soon. So one of the ways of implementing healthy designs, it's hard to have cost-effective solutions, and actually having people make it. We have a lot of guidelines on the internet. You could just Google, but how do we get it into place? So Center of Active Design was commissioned by New York City government, and they do research, evidence-based practice. They actually get the data in, so they can get funded. And on the other hand, they publish these beautiful guidelines, and they also develop programs like Active Design Verified and Fitwell, which is for workspaces. So it's like being LEED certified as a green building. So these certifications kind of encourage real estate developers to take part in active design. So kind of newer programming, we have intergenerational housing, which maybe some of you might have seen on the news. In the Netherlands, there's the most famous one, the Humanitas. That's the one on the top over there. And basically, it's mostly a nursing home facility, long-term care, but they have a few students that live in there free, and they would, work 30 hours a week and contribute to, the well-being of the elders, because seniors do love having younger souls around them to hang out and just chat and have fun. So this is like a win-win solution for everyone. It's cost-effective, and it encourages socialization across different generations. And so different places have also done something similar. In Cleveland, Ohio, they did something, a partnership with a school and a retirement community, doing something exactly similar. And then in New York, we have the Foundation for Senior Citizens. Basically, they are social services agency, and social workers interview and help facilitate people to create this home sharing program, which seniors would take in some maybe younger people, students, at a lower cost to have a bond and just enjoy each other's roommates. And then latest news from Boston, some students from MIT created this app named Nesterly, and it's to connect seniors with students or younger people to be roommates. Okay, and then so this is one of the programs in Bronx, New York City. It's very special because it's called the Grandparent Family Apartments. It's a partnership, once again, between a nonprofit social services developer and a social services agency for seniors. So on the ground floor of the building, there's a significant activity space. So you could see on the bottom over there, it's a very classically designed room, library, they call it. And up there, we have a space for children and younger people. You have the ping pong table, and there's like a basketball game thing over there. You can't see it, but that's really cool. And so the idea is that this is especially created for grandparents raising children. So biological parents are not in the picture, and so we have significant social services, social workers downstairs 5 days a week to help out the seniors as well as the children. And so they've been running for 12 years, and one of the things when I visited is the building manager. She is really bubbly and great and knows every single person in the building, and she really helped foster that happy community in a sense. So this point is just to say that how social services and the provision of good operations and programming could actually help people's mental health and help them to socialize and build a community within a building complex. So they also have after-school activities and bingo for seniors downstairs every day. And then so looking at Hong Kong and developments for younger people, we have co-living. So question mark, because how is this going to go? Do we like this? I think we have the bibliotech in Hong Kong. Maybe some of you have heard of it. So basically people are living in some of these cubicles. It's like a bed space, like a time capsule sort of thing, and they have communal space. So the idea, it's like a dorm, but cooler, and you pay for it. And so this kind of dorm-style living has been popular. They have it, that's some in New York. It's actually quite expensive, but nice design, and you get to hang out with your fellow peers. So that is the attractive part of it, because we're talking about there's many single people, many people who might feel isolated because they've moved to a new city for their jobs and so forth. But this kind of co-living may facilitate better socialization with the common spaces and people with your age and similar interests. But then once again, maybe if we look at Hong Kong, is it feasible living in a cubicle like that for a long period of time? So this is for us to think about. So I'll pass the time back to Layla.
Thank you very much.